Guys, click on the subscribe button on my channel and press the bell icon to get the latest information on my videos immediately. Hi guys, my name is Adit and you're watching Tech Aditkar, so let's get started. So today I'm going to tell you about some of the smartphone sensors, and I have categorized them into common, uncommon and rare categories. So I will explain them in detail. Now first we talk about the common sensor which are there in every basic or a high-end smartphone. They will be present in all the smartphone approximately. So the number one in this countdown is the proximity sensor. Now what does this proximity sensor do? Proximity sensor allows you to switch off the screen when any obstacle comes within 5 centimeter of that sensor, which means that the sensor will close your screen when you are making calls to another person when detecting your ear or face near the smartphone. This is a very helpful feature which prevents unexpected touches on your screen through your cheeks or hands. Now the next sensor on the list is ambient light sensor. You can also call it the auto brightness sensor because it does the same thing. It detects the light in the environment around you and adjusts the brightness of the screen. Now the next is accelerometer. Basically it detects the acceleration of the device in a 3D axis X, Y and Z. So it lets you know the orientation of the smartphone and the tilting of the smartphone. It is used by your games, mostly racing games, and it is also used in auto rotation. Now the next sensor is a new type of sensor introduced in 2015 and being used after that in every category smartphone. It is a fingerprint sensor. Now you all are familiar what fingerprint sensor do, so I don't need to tell you anything. The next sensor and the last common sensor is gyroscope. Now the gyroscopic sensor was introduced in mid 2016 as a VR compatible device. The VR compatible device contains this sensor, otherwise they will not be able to track the head motions in 360 videos. So this gyroscope sensor plays an important role when you play a 360 video in head tracking. So with the help of gyroscope sensor and accelerometer, you can enjoy VR 360 videos very well. Now this was the list of the common sensor. Now we are going to some uncommon sensor. They are present in some of these smartphones but they are not rare. So let's talk about the first sensor, the magnetic meter. What it does, it helps you to use your smartphone as a compass. Now it helps you in GPS also. If this sensor is present on your smartphone, the GPS location and accuracy of your smartphone increases many folds. You can use any third-party app present on the Google Play Store and use the compass with the help of this sensor. Next sensor is pedometer. Now what it does, it counts the step you run or you walk. So it's a health tracking sensor and it is found in some of the smartphones like Xiaomi's smartphone, Samsung high-end smartphone, Google Pixel and some other smartphones. So the next sensor I will be talking about is Hall sensor. Now what it does, it is actually used to recognize the smart lock. When you flip your cover over the screen, it automatically locks the screen. So this is a type of sensor which is not found in every smartphone, but some of the LG smartphone and Samsung smartphone provide these sensor. Now the last sensor in the uncommon category is the infrared sensor. Now what does an infrared sensor do? Well, you can convert your smartphone into a remote of any applicable devices which has an infrared remote. So this is limited to sending infrared signal and not receiving it. So this completes my list of uncommon sensor, and now we move to the rare sensor. Now the first in the rare sensor is heart rate sensor. The heart rate sensor is very rare in smartphone. Now it's specifically found in very few smartphone in the market, so you don't get it on every smartphone, or occasionally you happen to see this sensor on any smartphone. I haven't seen this sensor really before. I haven't seen it. So it's a very rare type of sensor to find. Next sensor is the iris scanner. The iris scanner is a rare sensor which is introduced in a smartphone in early 2016. I know some, not some, very few smartphones which have this sensor in them. Now the last rare sensor which I am going to talk about is really very rare. I know only one device in this whole world which ports it, and it's an infrared receiving sensor. Now hear it carefully. Infrared receiving sensor is just the opposite of infrared sensor, which means it is able to receive infrared information from your remote or any other device, which is, you can teach your smartphone what your remote does. So it's a very rare sensor which I know only one smartphone that ports it. So these were the list of all the basic sensors which I know and which are present in smartphones. Now you must be thinking there are many smartphone sensors. When you open the any third party app which shows you how many sensors are there in a smartphone, they show up a lot of sensor. So I must tell you, there are only these many basic sensors and you will not find any sensor apart from these. The groups you see, are codes to perform a specific function based on these smartphone sensor data which they provide. For example, if you see in a smartphone, they have orientation sensor, game rotation vector. Now these are the specific codes written in your smartphone system which take the data from accelerometer and provide the data to different app which requires them and recalls it. So these are not the actual sensor, these are the groups, and the actual sensor are only these much which I have categorized in the common, uncommon and rare segment. So I hope now you know every sensor on your smartphone. Now here you can clearly see that it shows so many sensors here, and yeah, it's true that my device doesn't have these many sensor, but you can see as game rotation vector and geomagnetic rotation vector and orientation, gravity wake up secondary. So these are the specific code written, which take up the data from the main sensor like gyroscope and magnetometer and accelerometer and provide these much values. So here's the test. My device doesn't have these many sensors and it's a Xiaomi Mi Max. You can go on the website and check it. These all are the codes written to take data from the sensor. Actually they take raw data and provide the application who needs it. So guys, just don't run after the performance or the display. Just look up for the sensor that the smartphone provides. Maybe the performance is top notch, but the sensors are not very less, and the sensor are not present on the smartphone which your requirement is. So do see the sensor of the smartphone before you buy it. Thanks for watching my videos guys. Do like and share this video and subscribe to my channel to get more interesting videos on smartphone and technology like this. Now do not forget to leave comment about how you feel about this video, and if I have missed some sensor you can comment below in the comment section, and you can also see these videos which is related to smartphone.